Welcome to Table for Two. I'm Onezie.
And I'm the Elusive Bigfoot.
Today we're discussing our top 5 games with IP in no particular order.
Right, intellectual property.
Intellectual property. Intellectual property.
I'm sure that's exactly how they got that. You had to be smart to figure this out.
You have to say it like that.
Intellectual property.
Intellectual property. Yes, I do believe so. All right. So, do you have any honorable mentions?
I have one honorable mention. It's not the typical type of intellectual property you might consider, and this game was amazing how they utilized the themes and the images and just the content. It is Apollo, a game inspired by NASA moon missions. So it looks like it's back from the 1960s, and you're either going to play mission control and you're behind a board for minimal communication, or you're going to play the astronauts and you're going to choose to either circle Earth or Gemini. And it's got different puzzles you need to do. You're rolling dice to make sure you have enough resources in order to do certain things. And meanwhile, the person on mission control can't really tell you what things look like too much, but will issue different kinds of puzzles based on what actions you choose to take. And sometimes the person who is mission control gets to do some of the puzzles too. So much fun. It is Apollo, a game inspired by NASA moon missions.
That is a long title for
It
a
is a
game.
very long title. It's not a long game. It is actually a really good gateway game.
So, what is your first thing you'd like to mention in no particular order?
Ooh, I'm going to talk about Horrified. So this particular Horrified that I really love is the one with the universal monsters. It's a board game where you can either pick the creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein and his bride, or Dr. Jekyll. I mean, different characters, and you're trying to get the characters to where they want to go home, to their safe spot. And there's also a puzzle you have to figure out in order not just to get them home, but maybe for like Dracula, you have to destroy a certain amount of crypts. And if you bump into them, you're going to have to battle them. And so the cards that you draw go right back to the Universal movies. The characters that you encounter will do that. It's all asymmetrical powers. You'll pick a character, whether it's going to be a reporter or an investigator or a detective or different things. So
you also get to rescue
the villagers,
innocent villagers who
we
are
do
moving around the board.
Take them to where they're trying to go, and you get different powers and perks in addition.
And apparently they can't get themselves there.
No, you have to walk them.
They don't have feet. You need to take them there.
You have to take them there, carry them or drag them, just kind of push them over.
Yes, Horrified was also on my list. So I'll just mention, since you already talked about the original Horrified, that there's also an American monsters version. So if you're into more American monsters, they have the Chupacabra, they have the
Jersey Devil.
Jersey Devil. What else do they have on there?
Oh my gosh, what else did they have? There were what I found fascinating. There were monsters I had never heard of. So I can't remember all of them, unfortunately. But it's a lot of fun. If you liked Horrified regular, you might like the American monster version as well.
And I can't remember if the Elusive Bigfoot was actually
Bigfoot is one of those.
Bigfoot is one of the monsters.
Yeah.
So if you want to hunt for Bigfoot, you can play the American monsters version. And that's Horrified American Monsters.
Okay. My next one is Villainous. So Villainous has several tracks. They've got the Disney villains, they've got the Marvel villains, and then they also recently started coming up with the Star Wars one. One thing that I appreciated with Villainous is that each character you play, the character comes with its own board, its own objectives, and its own deck, and they do such a great way of presenting what your particular objective will be and pulling the different abilities into the card. So it really does feel like you are playing that villain. And of course, you're battling the heroes from that particular movie as well.
Yeah, that ended up on my list as well, Disney Villainous. And we played it recently with a group of people. And it was very fun.
There was 6 of us playing at
Six
first,
of us,
and then
yeah.
eventually was 5.
Yeah, it's fun with 2 people. It's fun with more people. But the great thing about it is each little character, or each character, is kind of its own little solitaire game.
Mm-hmm.
However, there's a mechanic in there called fate,
Mm-hmm.
and you can mess with the other players
It's an
by
ability to thwart.
yeah, by using this fate
Yeah.
action. You can bring out the good guys, the
Mm-hmm.
heroes, to counteract the other villains and villainous.
Yeah. And sometimes the only way you can win is you must battle one of the specific heroes. So sometimes you want them to bring out the heroes on you. It's like, I gotta find that sucker somewhere.
Yeah, you can't be Captain Hook unless you defeat Peter Pan.
You gotta
So.
find Peter Pan in that deck of heroes. So,
All right.
all right. My next one is Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. Um, it's a deck builder as well. And they do such a great job of bringing in the individual spells that you will recognize, the different villains. The images are good. I found the components really nice as well. Um, and there's always different mechanics and that will take part as you're playing the game. So even though it's a campaign game that maybe you've played before, it does have a lot of replayability.
I like that they worked in
The Death
the
Eaters.
Death Eaters in there
Uh-huh.
too. So there's a phase of the game where
Mm-hmm.
the game gets to act against you,
Mm-hmm.
and the Death Eaters get to do their thing. You
Mm-hmm.
can increase the difficulty by ramping up the Death Eaters.
You can definitely adjust things. You can give yourself a penalty to start with and definitely make it harder to win.
Mm-hmm. And I don't remember totally about the game, but I remember there's little metal skulls that go on.
The score markers for the
Yeah,
Death Eaters.
little metal skulls are cool.
Yeah.
So who wouldn't love a game with little metal skulls, right? Right. The next one on my list of IP is Thanos Rising.
That's a really good one.
So Thanos was super popular lately in the movies,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of Marvel games, but this is one of the best ones, I think, where you collectively play all the heroes
Mm-hmm.
and you battle Thanos and you try to beat him before he gets all of the
Infinity Gems.
Infinity Stones.
The stones for the gauntlet.
Yes, before he gets all those things. And this is a great looking game and great playing game, and you really do feel like you're battling Thanos. It fits in with the IP.
Mm-hmm. One thing I really like about it is that I get to play. I love playing Doctor Strange, and then if you also get certain characters, you'll get more. You get to roll additional dice sometimes. So it's a good dice roller.
Right. So that is Thanos Rising.
Mm-hmm. My next game is Jaws from that great 1970s movie. It's a game that I like playing on 4th of July, just like, when Jaws attacked during the movie. It's a two-sided board, and on the first side, you're at, what is,
The island.
Amity Island.
Amity Island.
And one person is going to play Jaws, and the other people who play are going to play the characters. And so the characters are trying to find the shark Jaws. So Jaws keeps on swimming around the island and eating the swimmers, and you're trying to rescue the swimmers and trying to find Jaws at the same time. Then once you finish that, you'll flip the board over, and now you're on the actual boat. And all the characters are on the boat, and Jaws is going to start attacking the boat and trying to eat all the heroes, and you're trying to stop Jaws before all that happens. So it's a great battle to the end.
It's 2 games.
It is 2 games.
It's the island game and it's the boat game.
Yes.
And depending on how long it takes you to find the shark, the shark will be more or less strong.
Right.
When you get to phase 2 of the game. So if you take forever to find the shark, when it comes time to do the boat phase, it's going to be really hard to beat the shark.
Because he now has special abilities. He's collected additional cards.
Yeah, he's got more stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My next one up on the list is Legendary Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, nice.
That is an IP, right?
It's good.
We love the movie. We love the games, the game. And so we liked Legendary. So to have Big Trouble in Little China Legendary was just that much extra fun.
I remember when I found that. Oh, I was so excited.
You get to play with Egg Shen and the Wing, the Wing Kong gang, whatever it's called. And you get Jack. And I would like to make it so you get extra points if you talk like old Big Jack here. You'll get extra points, but that's not in the rules. So, anyway, legendary Big Trouble in Little China.
Nice. My final game on my list is Star Wars Outer Rim. It is it's a game that takes up a lot of room lengthwise, but not depthwise. And you're basically trying to, you know, pick up and deliver goods. You might be trying to find certain people or certain goods. Also card builder. I mean, it's a great game. It's got great images. They go into the depths of the different stories, the different movies, the shows. So if you're a Star Wars fan, you will like Star Wars Outer Rim.
And there are a lot of cards.
A lot of cards.
It's a lot of cards.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that equals a lot of replayability.
I think so too. Yeah. It's good.
Right, so the final one on my list is a game we don't own. Firefly the game.
Oh my gosh.
Because I love Firefly.
It's a long game.
It was a short show, 13 episodes and one movie.
The game is almost as long as the show.
But, you know, you fly around the verse. They call it the verse. Mm-hmm. Fly around the verse, picking up your crew and mm-hmm. creating your ship, mm-hmm. fighting the bad guys, doing all kinds of Firefly stuff. And it's Firefly.
And were you also, I didn't play it. I started playing it, but then I turned it over to somebody else. I may have turned it over to you. I think you're also picking up cargo and delivering it where it needs to go. Is that right?
Well, that's what cargo ships do.
Oh, that is a good point. That is what cargo ships do.
Anyway, Firefly, the game.
Okay. So that was our top 5 list in no particular order for each of us. And so with that, please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like that. I'm the Elusive Bigfoot.
And I'm Onezie.
Thanks for joining us on Table for Two. Bye-bye.